Hello, stamping friends. I'm Terry Hartley at Rustic Barn Cards. Welcome, stampers. I'm glad you're here. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in the United States. And today, I normally come live at 1 p.m., but instead, this is pre-recorded, and it will be uploaded today, Tuesday, May 24th at 1 p.m. Central. And either way, you'll be watching the replay since it's over the pre-recorded video. Today we're going to make a Z-fold card, and I hope you'll like it. It's very colorful, and I'll show you a card, and then we're going to make the same card, only we're going to be using some different colors. And then I have a third card to share with you. So let me turn the camera down and let's get started. We are going to make a Z-fold card today, but before that, I just wanted to let you know that we have a starter kit special through May 31st. And if you thought about joining Stampin' Up, you want to receive that 20% discount, this is a good time to do that because you choose $125 worth of product, pay $99 free shipping, plus right now through the end of May, you will also receive product value worth $66, which includes in-color grid paper, the 5 ink pad collection of the new in colors, the in color 8.5 by 11 cardstock pack, and a pack of our designer series paper assortment of our new in colors. So $66 worth of product plus the $125 product you choose, and you pay $99 and free shipping, and then your very next order you will receive a discount. And that's all you don't need to do it. You don't need to sell or anything. So if you want to get your hobby, if you're a hobbyist and you want to receive your crafting supplies and save on those, this is an awesome deal right now that Stampin' Up! has that's offering. So reach out to me if you have questions. I'd love, of course, for you to join my team, and I'll have information and link in the description. And then I am part of the online crafting trio, and we are going to have an online global retreat July 11th through 14th. Really excited. We've been working on this. I have joined with 3 others for this retreat, a demonstrator from Australia, a demonstrator from Canada, and then we're going to have a guest presenter from the UK. And a registration should be opening up next week for that, so stay tuned. All right, let's do some stamping. So the card that we're going to make, let me show you in the card. So this is congratulations and good luck. So this is the type of card that we're going to make. I'm going to change up the colors, but we're going to use the same stamp set. We are going to use the Art Gallery stamp set, and this is in our annual catalog on page 39. So 39, and you have the item number at the bottom, $22, and then it also, this coordinates with Floral Gallery dies that are on page 171. And notice how I'm thinking of you and I miss you is kind of shaded. That is because there is a die that for those sentiments. So we turn to 171. This is the Floral Gallery, and it notice that the little emblem for the mini, so it does work with the mini cut and emboss machine. And then here are the 2 dies that would die cut out the label for those sentiments that from the stamp set. I am not going to use any of the dies today. I will just be using the stamp set. But I wanted to make that for you aware that there are dies that go with this stamp set art gallery. I'm going to be using the gingham embossing folder today. And I'm going to be using 4 inks. We'll be using our Memento Black, Tahitian Tide, Daffodil Delight, and Granny Apple Green. And Tahitian Tide is one of our new in colors. And then I'm going to be bringing in the cardstock that we're going to need today. So we have Tahitian Tide, and this is 11 by 4 1/4. And then we have Daffodil Delight. And this is 3 1/4 by 10. Now, everything that I'm showing you today, you can order from my store. And when you place an order with me, please use this host code. And then we also need 2 basic white. And these are both cut at 2 1/2 by 3. And then you also need a basic white. And this will be 4 1/4 by 3. And I'm going to move this out of the way. And then we're going to start with a Tahitian Tide, which is 11 by 4 1/4. And we're going to do some scoring. So I have brought in our trimmer. And I'm going to place our cardstock in so that the 11 inches is across the top. And we're going to score this at 2 3/4. And we're just going to be scoring just 2 scores. So we don't, I'm going to bring up the scoring, which is the lighter. And I like to go across that several times. And then we're going to score this at 5 1/2. And then 5 1/2. And then that is all we need to score for our Tahitian Tide. And we will need to do some scoring on our Daffodil Delight. And this is 3 1/4 by 10 inches. And I'm going to have to open up our side here. And then we are going to score this. And again, I'm going to put the long side in, the 10 inches. And we are going to score this at 4 1/2. And then 7 1/4. And that is all of the scoring that we need. So I'm going to lay this aside. We're going to bring in our Tahitian Tide. And we're going to go ahead and fold it on. It's going to fold like right in half on that score line. And then I'm going to use my bone folder. And I kind of like to turn it over to make sure I have that good. And then I have this crease right up here. And then we're going to take and fold this back like this. And again, use that bone folder. And this is going to be the base of our card. So I'm going to set that aside. So we're going to bring this in. And then this was going to be folded like this. Folded down. And use your bone folder to make a crease. Then I'm going to open this. I'm going to turn it over. And then we're going to bring this up. And then this is going to open like this. Okay, I'll lay that aside. And let me show you. So we are going to adhere these like this. And that will be our card. And I will show you how to do that in just a few minutes. So I'm going to bring in, so these two are our card bases. I'm going to bring in the Tahitian Tide and our embossing folder. And I am going to emboss just the top, these first two sections, so half of our Tahitian Tide. And I am going to place just half right to the crease line. And you want to have the Stampin' Up! Logo facing up. And then I'm going to run this through the cut and emboss machine. And I'm just embossing the top half, not the lower half. And I'm embossing the top that has the fold, the fold or the score line in the Tahitian Tide. And I've already run it through. And so here we go. And then it still folds right here. And so now I'll lay this aside, and we'll start with some stamping. This is a two-step stamp, so we're going to use both of these images of the flower. And the card I showed you was a congratulations card, but now I'm going to show, we're going to make a birthday card. So I need a birthday card, so we're going to use happy birthday and best wishes. I like the other sentiments too. I miss you. Good luck. Sorry. Thank you. You're lovely. I'm thinking of you. So some really great sentiments in this art gallery photopolymer stamp set. And I'm going to bring in our flower. And then we're going to use this little leaf image also. And I'm going to bring in a piercing mat because it gives us a little bit of cushion since we're working with the photopolymer. And I'm going to make, we're going to make Tahitian Tide blue flowers. And I'm also going to be stamping off. So I'm going to go ahead and use this stamp first. So I'm going to go ahead and ink that up. And then I'm going to stamp off. And then I'm going to stamp up in the left-hand corner. And I'm using the basic white that is 4 1/4 by 3. So I'll ink that up again. And then we will stamp off. And I'm going to stamp a flower down at the bottom left-hand corner. And then I will ink this up again, and we will stamp off, and about right in the middle here. Now I'm going to grab our other image, and I'm going to go ahead and ink this up in the Tahitian Tide. And then I'm going to stamp that right over, and I'm going to do this full strength. And I will ink this up. And again, full strength. And then we will come down here. And there are our 3 flowers. So let's close our Tahitian Tide. I'm going to come back. I'm going to grab this little flower right here. I already have this mounted, but let's go ahead and add, because basically I forgot to do that, and I want to add this flower to give a little bit of, find a block here. to give some contrast. So I'm going to use our Daffodil Delight ink. And I'm going to go ahead and ink this up. And then I'm going to stamp this about right here. And let's see, let's put one down here. And you can just kind of just, you know, wherever you want to. I'm going to put one off. So part of it's on our cardstock and part is off. Again, just to kind of give it some interest. So I have 3 of the large flowers in Tahitian Tide, 3 of the smaller flowers in Daffodil Delight. And then I'm going to come in with some Granny Apple Green and add, I don't know, they look kind of like leaves to me. So we'll ink that up. And I will just go ahead and kind of put those right there. And we will place that right here. So just kind of giving a little bit of color. I think I'll just stamp off here. And maybe right in here. Okay. And then maybe right. There we go. So let me clean my block. Or my stamp that's on my block. Okay, now I'm going to lay this aside, and then we're going to bring in those basic white that are the same, and these are 2.5 by 3. And I'm bringing in the Tahitian Tide. Now you could do this all at one time, so you could stamp this the same time that you stamped your other one, but I just kind of like to do it a little bit separately. So again, I'm going to bring in the Tahitian Tide, ink this up, stamp off onto my grid paper, and then I'm going to place this right here. Then I'm going to ink this up again and stamp off, and I'm going to place it right here. Then I will bring this flower, our second step, and I will go ahead and ink it up, and I'm going to place it full strength right there. And right here, and I think I'm going to set this aside, and then I'm going to bring in the other piece of basic white while I still have my Tahitian Tide. And I'm going to go ahead and ink this up. Only this time I'm going to turn it the opposite way. And I did full strength, and so we're going to turn that over. And I'm going to ink this up, and then we're going to stamp off, because I do not want, let me try that again. I do not want it to be full strength. There we go. Then I'm going to ink this up, and then I'm going to turn it back this way, and well, we'll just leave that full strength, because I forgot to stamp off again, didn't I? Okay, so now I'm going to come in with, I'm going to turn this around because I turned this one, you know, the opposite, and we'll stamp right here. And I think I'm going to try stamping off, and we'll just see how this turns out. So you just have this one a little bit more than that, but it'll be fine. I get to stamping, and I forgot to stamp off on this one, but I think it will be just fine. So I'm going to close up our Tahitian Tide. We are going to need our Daffodil Delight. I'm coming back to this one here. So this is going to be our last piece, and I'm not going to do any more. We're going to add a sentiment on here, but I'm not going to do any more stamping on that, but I am on this. So I'm going to bring in that larger flower, and we're going to go ahead and ink this up. And I'm just going to stamp it right here in the corner. And then we'll just stamp it right over here. And we are finished with the Daffodil Delight. So I can close that up. And then I will bring in our little leaves and a Granny Apple Green. And we will add, let's add some leaves right down here. And you could, you know, stamp off also if you wanted to for your leaves so they're not quite so bold. Or you can just leave them. I kind of want to get a little bit of green in here. All right, I think that looks good. So we're finished with Granny Apple Green. And now you do need a scrap of Basic White, and I don't believe I mentioned that earlier. So you do need it, and we're going to come in with our Memento Tuxedo Black ink. And we're going to stamp Happy Birthday. And we'll put that about right here. And then we're going to come in with Best Wishes. And I'm going to stamp it over here on the left. I don't need quite as large of a scrap as I have here, but I do want to have a little area around because I'm going to tear. I could use my dies, but I'm not using dies today. So I'm just going to tear around the Happy Birthday. And I try to keep both of my thumbs there. So I have a little more control. And then I'm going to do the same with Best Wishes. And now we're ready to add to our card base. So I'm going to bring in our Daffodil Delight and our card pieces because I have the Best Wishes and Happy Birthday. So we're going to take this large one and we're going to place it right here. And I'm going to bring in our liquid glue. So we're taking the larger of the Basic White layer, and it doesn't take a lot of glue. And then I will place it and get it centered and a little bit of an edge so you can see the... And then we're going to take the one that has more flowers on it because the reason I have some white space here because this way you're going to have room to write your name and who it's from. So we'll add our adhesive. And you can use any stamp set with this card design. So if you don't have the art gallery, you most certainly can buy it from my store, but you can also use whatever you have. So I can turn it this way, or I can turn it this way. I'm going to turn it this way because I stamped the flower the opposite way, and I kind of wanted it up in the right-hand corner. Not that it matters. And I am trying to line it up so it's kind of even there, so we have the same. But we really want it to be straight, don't we? I had to have it a little crooked. There we go. Now I'm going to bring our adhesion tied card base in, because this is our inside layer. And then I'm going to fold this up like this. And then we're going to add some adhesive here. And then we're going to, I'm going to show you first before I do that. And then we're going to kind of slip this in here. And we don't have any glue on this. Or we don't have any glue on any of it yet. But, and then I'll make sure it's lined up like that. And then I will press down. So it's easier. So we're going to fold this up. Now I'm going to add glue. So we folded it up, turned it over, and we're going to add glue in this section right here. Okay, then we're going to, I'm going to leave this folded here. And then we're going to bring our card base in, and I kind of want to line it up here. And I kind of use the gingham lines for that. And get it like we want. And then go ahead and press down. And we just have to make sure you get it straight. And then you can press this down. And then we're ready to adhere this piece. And then it will open up like this. Is that cool or what? So now we're going to look at our, we're going to add this, some glue, but we don't want, we want glue just this top half. So we want to put glue just on this top half. So I'm just going to kind of, and if you go up a little bit, that's fine. So I'm just going to kind of put my finger right here, just a little bit above, about a finger above. And then I'm going to turn that over. And I'm going to be adding glue. Or adhesive, which is glue, right? So it's better to be a little bit short, not put it too far down. And then I'm going to bring this, fold this down, and then I'm going to fold this piece. And press down, and then here is our card, and now we're ready to add our sentiments. So I'm going to pop happy birthday and best wishes with dimensionals. So I've added 3 dimensionals. Bring in our card base, and I'm going to place it just about right here. And then I'll take the backings off. And the best wishes. Make sure it's going the way I want it to go. And then we'll just kind of place it right here inside. And then you still have room to add a little more writing and your name. So now we're going to add some gems. And maybe a bow. We'll see if we like that or not. Well, I'm going to set this aside, and we're going to bring in our crinkled seam binding ribbon. And I'm going to bring in our Stampin' Blends. And we're going to go ahead and add our Stampin' Blends to our white ribbon, because you can make this any color. So if you don't have the ribbon that matches your inks, you can just go ahead and make your own if you have the Stampin' Blend in that color. And you can always let it dry and put another coat on there if you want to. I think that looks just fine. I use the light Tahitian Tide. And then let's go ahead and see about adding some gems while this is drying. We have some beautiful new embellishments, but you never can go wrong with our rhinestone basic jewels. And so that's what I'm going to use. And I think I'll use the putty end. So I'm going to place one up here. And we'll add a gem down here. And let's go ahead and add one right here. Okay, and now let's make a bow and see if we want to add a bow. And if I don't have enough to make a bow, we will have to add some more color, but I think I have enough, so we will see. And I'm going to go ahead and I do have enough, so I'm going to go ahead and snip that. And I probably will still need to cut a little bit of the bow in a second. But we'll go ahead and kind of get it like we want. And then we will take those scissors and we may still trim some more. And then I'm thinking that maybe we'll place it like right here. I kind of like that. Okay, so let's go ahead and bring in, let's see, let's make that just a little bit smaller. Bring in our glue dots. And we'll add a glue dot. I like to add 2 glue dots to a bow. And we'll just bring the bow up to the glue dot. I kind of use my nail to get that to stick. And then we will add our bow right below the happy birthday. And we want to still be able to see the happy birthday. So, and we are going to, I think, well, let's see, I need to make this side just a little bit shorter. And we can most certainly shorten that if you want to. But here is our card. Happy birthday. And if you think that is a little bit in the way, we can actually add a glue dot. So let's go ahead and do that because I think it's covering up the happy birthday. So we are going to take our Take Your Pick tool, and I'm just going to hold my finger there and kind of roll this around to make it smaller. And kind of pick that up. And I'm going to place it, the glue dot right here. And then I am going to place, kind of stretch that bow right there. There you go. So now we can see happy birthday. And it opens up this way. Best wishes. And the card I showed you earlier. Congratulations. So let me know, do you like the congratulations? And congratulations, I used Polished Pink, Granny Apple Green, and Daffodil Delight. And then on the card today that we made together, I used Tahitian Tide and the same colors, Granny Apple Green and Daffodil Delight. So you can use any colors that you want. And I'd love for you to leave me a comment. Let me know which one you like. If you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, please subscribe. I am trying to, it really helps my small business grow and to be able to get this video out to more people, and I really appreciate your help. Thank you for watching. I'm Terry Hartley at Rustic Barn Cards, and happy stamping, and have a great week.